Hey there, welcome to Cooking with Kenny G. Now in today's video, I am going to show you how to make a super easy, super kill tomato sauce that is not going to take you too long and not going to blow your mind on how hard it is. It'll blow your mind on how easy it is. So like I always say, let's put on the apron, grab the knives, fire up the stove, get after it, making tomato sauce. This tomato sauce is also one of the foundation series. The reason I call it foundation series, or the foundation of cooking, is because it is one of the main mother sauces of French cooking. So tomato sauce is one of them, chicken stock is one of them. Now if you watch this video up here, you can see how I made chicken stock. That again is one of the foundation series too. So if you want to have a look at that one, learn how to make a chicken stock. There will be a PDF recipe file that you can click on the link down below. Download it, print it off. It is letter size, so it's up to you. You can make it smaller if you want. I like to make them nice and big. Put them in my cookbook. Put these little binder covers in there, so if you get it messy, you can wipe it off. Not that you're gonna get it messy or not, but I certainly do. So let's run you through the ingredients and the equipment that you're gonna need. You're gonna need a knife, for sure. Peeler for peeling your carrots. You're gonna need a sauce pot to cook your sauce in. And that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot of equipment anyway, so let's run you through the ingredients you're gonna need. I've got one medium-sized onion here. Now you can use, depending on the carrots, I had small carrots, so I've got 3 little carrots, or you can use 1 big carrot. I've got 3 medium stalks of celery here, or depending on the size of the celery, maybe they're twice the size, same size, so about that much anyway. So those ingredients there are the Trinity in French cooking, or the mirepoix. Now mirepoix, that's just a French term for the vegetables that are used in a lot of French cooking with roasting, soups, those sorts of things. So really, or the Trinity, it's only 3 things: onion, celery, carrots. I also have some garlic. I got about 4 cloves of garlic. I have a bell pepper here that I'm gonna add into it. Now the bell pepper gives it a nice flavor. Now it's up to you, but I wanna make this thing easy, so I have canned diced tomatoes here. Now if you're gonna puree the soup, don't get the diced tomatoes. You're gonna pay a little bit more for diced ones, but I like to get the diced ones because I'll show you afterwards. I make a nice chunky one. I have a tomato paste here. Now these are all organic too, so it's up to you if you wanna use organic or not use organic, but I like to use organic. And then I've also got a bay leaf, some chilies, some basil, thyme, oregano, of course, salt and pepper. And that's about all we're gonna need. So let's get that going. Pitter patter, let's get at her. Let's get all my veggies cut up. Now I like to use these trays here. I like to cut all my vegetables and then put them on the tray. It's just easier to take from my cutting board over to the stove where I'm working. With the onion, just cut it in half. Now keep the root end away from you. And then because I'm not gonna puree the soup, I wanna keep things very, very small. So I'm gonna dice this fairly small. Just little slices in it this way. Little cut about halfway there, watch your fingers. Don't want anybody to get cut. And then just a small dice. So there we go, there's the onion. Now the onion's diced, blue scraper, just get it on my tray there to get it over. I don't want to see them in the sauce, but they are going to be a major flavor component for it. So celery, make sure you don't have a piece that's longer than your knife. Reason for that is just safety, because I'm going to want to cut small strips in the celery. And that way when I dice it, it keeps the pieces nice and small. And then just dice them small. About the same size as the onion. That right there is a chef tip on cutting. I'm here to teach you something, not only how to cook, but how to use your knife too. At least that's my intention anyway. Blue scraper, just get that on there. Now a trick for the carrot, and I forgot to say, for the equipment that you need, I've got a grater. Now the reason for that is, I like my carrots grated, so when they cook, they kind of cook out and you don't see them. That's just a personal thing for me. I don't really like diced carrot in my tomato sauce, but it does add a lot of sweetness and a lot of flavor and a lot of complexity, part of the mirepoix again, of course. So just grate the carrots just on a regular size grater. There we go, grated carrot, ready to roll. Let's get that out of the way. say that blue scraper comes in handy. Cleans up my cutting board. I don't waste ingredients. Now a nice tip for the bell pepper, so you're not getting seeds and everything. I like to cut it down the sides like that, and then it leaves all the seeds on the stem, so you don't have to worry about those going all over your cutting board and getting in everything. Same thing with the pepper, just cut it into small strips, about the same size as the celery, the onions. And then once they're in the strips, you can line them up like logs and just cut them into little pieces. Keeps your cutting board nice and clean, you stay organized too. And that is it for the knife work. All I'm gonna do is get my garlic press the garlic onto that, and we are ready to go. Just broke my garlic press. Isn't that awesome? Okay, well, that's a little oops there that I'll either edit out or leave in. Let's leave it in. Gotta go out and get a new garlic press now. Just gonna dice the garlic up really small. And then once it's diced small, I can just take my knife, run it over the garlic, and that'll crush it up just as good too. I actually showed you two little skills there, showed you two little tips there. All right, that's pretty much it. I'll get cleaned up here, and then we'll get over to the stove and I'll show you what to do. Got my saucepan on the stove. Now I'm gonna put in my extra virgin olive oil, and that's gonna saute my use to saute my vegetables. I got about 2 tablespoons in there for 30 mils of extra virgin olive oil. Nice hot pan. Veggies all on a tray, makes it super easy too. Look at that, I just get them all in there without making a huge mess all over my stove. They all go in at the same time. I'm just gonna give those a little stir, just to get them off the bottom. I'm gonna leave these, let them cook for a few minutes, and then I'll stir them around again. I don't want any color or anything in there, but I also want them to saute, and that'll help them cook and release a little bit of those strong flavors, make them more mellow, give the sauce some flavor. Those veggies have been sauteing for about 5 minutes. Just gonna stir them around a little bit. Now it's time to add in the tomatoes and the other ingredients. It's 160 mils of tomato paste. I have no idea what that is in imperial measurements. Sorry to my American friends. Give that a little stir. Just kind of cook that a little bit. Now I don't want to burn it again. I just want to release a bit of that flavor, get a little bit of those sugars cooking, and a little bit more of that Maillard reaction going on in there. Now, if you want, you can add a little bit of red wine in there. Don't use your wife's good Pinot Noir though. She'll be upset, so this is drinking wine. But you know what they say, good wine makes a good sauce too. Cheers. Give that a little stir. Now I'll add in the diced tomatoes. I've got 2 cans here. Just give those a little stir. Beautiful. Now you can't see the onions and the celery a little bit. Those carrots are gonna go incognito and disappear. Again, I want the flavor from them, but I personally just do not like seeing diced carrots in my tomato sauce, but it is important to have them in there for flavor. It's gonna come up to a boil. Now I'm gonna turn that down to a simmer. I'm gonna add in all my spices and seasoning, and then I'm gonna cover it, leave a little bit of room for the steam to come out. I'm gonna let that cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. Time to add in the spices and the seasoning into that. So I'm gonna add in some cracked chilies. I'll have the recipe down below. I'm just gonna throw it in there, and then I'll put the recipe, and then you can follow along with the recipe. But I will put the measurements down there so you know. I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos before, but I am a big fan of buying my spices in bulk, or my herbs in bulk, putting them in deli containers, and then I can put lids on top, put them in my pantry, and then they stack beautifully in there. Good time saver. I hate all those bags and little containers that you buy them in. It's also cheaper to buy them in bulk too. Salt, I'm gonna not put in too much of that. I'm gonna taste it and then maybe add some more salt afterwards, because they do salt the tomatoes. Black pepper in there. I like to use cracked black pepper. So I've got thyme, basil, oregano in there. You can use fresh basil if you want, fresh thyme, fresh oregano. I'm trying to save you time and money here. That is looking super awesome. I'm gonna give it a little taste just to see how my seasonings are. So I'm just gonna put a lid on that, leave a little bit of space for the steam to come out, but I don't want too much of that steam to release. I want some of that steam to come up, condense on the lid, and go back inside. It keeps it moist too without drying it out too much. So cover it, and then we're gonna check it in about 30, 45 minutes or so. Lid on top, just like that, ready to go. You can walk away from it. As long as you got it on a low simmer, it won't boil and dry out. So leave it like that. All right, a little time saver for you while your tomato sauce is cooking. I got about 10, 15 minutes left. Let's get some pasta going. Why not cook pasta? We are making tomato sauce. Salted boiling water. Just get your pasta in there, whatever you like. I like spaghetti. The reason is I'm probably still a child, and to me, I just love spaghetti, man. I love eating it. It's awesome. Yeah, I guess I am a child. Child at heart anyways. Hey, get your pasta going while your sauce is cooking, and then by the time the sauce is done, the pasta is done, you got a meal, you're good to go. So what are we talking, 35, 40 minutes maybe? Unless you make that sauce up ahead of time. So, pitter patter, get at her, get your pasta cooking, sauce will be ready, you can have some dinner, enjoy the fruits of your labor. Pasta's ready, sauce is ready. Can give this a little bit of a taste, adjust the seasoning if I need. Need some more salt for sure. A little bit of pepper. Make it legit, I'm gonna use a pepper grinder. Okay, well, you know what time it is? Time to chef it up. So let's get this over there. I'm gonna move the camera and you're gonna see a presentation. And we're done. Ridiculous Blue Gloves, tomato sauce is done. There it is, looking gorgeous. Again, like I said, I like mine chunky. Let's get these off. I like mine chunky. If you want, you can puree it, but if you're gonna do that, don't spend the money on the diced tomatoes. Just get the whole plum tomatoes and cook them up. There we go. So let's get some pasta on here. We're gonna chef it up. Oh yeah. I like to use a plate for my pasta. Gives it a nice presentation. That is hot. Beautiful tomato sauce. Actually, it's our beautiful tomato sauce. Put as much as you want on there. Look at that. Gorgeous, chunky tomato sauce. Like I said, we are gonna chef it up. So you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna have a cinematic Parmesan cheese slow motion grate on here. And now, let's finish this off. Of course, parsley. And why parsley? Parsley makes everything look good. Oh yeah, there it is, beautiful. Got some fresh oregano from the garden, put it in there. Oh, and of course, little EVOO over there. Oh my goodness, just chef that up. Have a look at this beaut. Oh yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. We're done. Tomato sauce. I'm not sure if I promised some tips, but here is a great tip for storage or storage solution. If you got extra tomato sauce, put some of those deli containers, grab your green painter's tape. Now the reason I use the green painter's tape is it does not have a lot of adhesive on the back. So when you put it on these containers and you freeze them or you put them in the fridge, and then when you go and take it off, it does not leave all that nasty adhesive on there like masking tape. You can see it quite easily, and then just get your Sharpie, put what the item is on there, what the date. You're good to go if you put it in the freezer 4 months later or whatever it is, you forget what you've got. Now you know, you just look at the label. There you go, put some lids on it. It stacks nicely in the fridge. They are washable. I will put a link down below. And there you go. All right, so there was super easy tomato sauce. You could come home with no idea what to cook. Go into the pantry, grab a few things. You'll have dinner in 30 minutes. Beautiful pasta. Thanks so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe button down below. There's gonna be some other videos to watch here. But again, thanks so much for watching. And don't forget to leave the comments down below too. If you got some comments there, if you like it, dislike it, please don't dislike it. If you like it for sure, but hey, put some comments in there too. I love chatting with you guys. All right, so there it is. A beautiful, gorgeous tomato sauce and my childish spaghetti that I like. Enjoy that pasta, and I'll see you in the next video.